All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Alex Halsey. This is P.P.L. Welcome, man, y'all. How you doing? Welcome to Push, Pull, and Legs. Every day you come to this class, you got one more chance, one more reason to not get a BBL. All right, so we're gonna keep working away, working on these bodies, working on our mental awareness, our mental health, feeling good, getting back to work. All right, so hope your day's been good so far up to this point. Thank you for joining me to take a break, get some exercise, get some movement going, refresh your mind, refresh your body so you can get back to your life. All right, so today's format is going to be what we usually have. We're going to have that 3-sequence format where each sequence we do one move. We're going to do that with single move for 6.5 minutes. All right, we're going to have a 45-second break in between each interval where I will go ahead and explain to you what the next move is, slightly demonstrate, and then we'll get going to the next sequence in a linear fashion. All right, so the goal is to keep moving as much as possible throughout the class, to take as few breaks as possible. Of course, you can do that, but the goal is to try to find the marriage between the weight and the reps and with the move, so that you can continue to move throughout the class. All right, I want you to leave the class today feeling like you got a little bit more left in the tank. All right, I'm definitely not trying to kill you guys, just trying to wake you up, get those muscles moving. So check the description, you'll see what moves we have. We're only going to have one move per sequence, and each move is kind of indirectly going to hit the core in one way or another, or at least the first two will. That last move is very easy, very simple. That's going to help us get back down to set point. So let's go ahead and get warmed up. You will need weights for this class today. I would suggest something light to moderate, but it does not need to be heavy. All right, so if you've got a few options, keep them around. Nonetheless, keep those options near you, and we're going to go ahead and get warmed up. All right, so we're going to start off doing some step back burpees. Just bring yourself on down, palms first, extend the feet out, bring it back in, stand up. So start here with a moderate tempo. We're going to pick it up, we're going to double time it as we move forward. Just nice smooth movements here. We're reaching up nice and tall. Getting up and down from the ground is a part of getting the heart rate up. We got all limbs involved. So go ahead, double time this movement. So pick it up, try to move a little faster. Make sure you're getting your breaths in there. Don't forget to breathe. We got one more, then we're going to come right to a straddle. All right, open it up. We're going right into a windmill. So elevate the hands parallel to the floor. Right hand, left foot. Left hand, right foot. You can bend your knees here if you need to, but nonetheless, we're going down to the floor and back up. So make sure you're breathing. Bend your knees if you need. Shoulders should be turning on. Torso should be turning on. Now that we got some rotation coming in. One more each side. All right, from here, we're gonna come down to the butt. We're gonna do some tables, open up the shoulders and hit the hips and the hamstrings. So roll the shoulders back, pull them down into the floor. Fingertips are pointing left and right. You're gonna elevate the hips, come back down. Just alternate up and down. You can bring your feet further away from your butt in order to get a deeper, in order to feel the stretch more in your shoulders. There we go. Last one. From here, I'm gonna drop the butt to the floor. All we're gonna do is elevate the glutes slightly off the mat, and then you're going to go right into the rock. Keep the shoulders pulled back and down. Push your butt to the heels and back. Just to get deeper into the shoulders and the knees. Go for 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. All right, from here, I'm gonna flip over to your belly. We're gonna come up into a cobra. Squeeze your glutes, push your hips into the floor. Take a big breath in, exhale, come into down dog. We're gonna alternate between these two positions. Try to get the crown of your head to your back, or as close as you can. And then you're gonna push your head as close as you can towards your feet. All right, so push your hands away from your body and get the crown of your head to your back. And push the hands away from the body, head to the back. 2 more. Last one. From here, you're going to come back to the high plank. You're going to push your butt to your heels and come up. Three more. All right. Split, come to your feet. From here, we're going to come into a squat. We're going to drive your elbows into your knees. Open your stance up as wide as you need. And you're going to rotate up and back. We're going to do 5 on each side. 2. Exhale as you twist and turn. You're trying to turn your shoulders as much as you can. Use that inside elbow for leverage. Last one. Go ahead, come on up. All right. So our first move, we're going to have bridges with pullovers. This is a compound movement. It's going to indirectly hit the core. Bridges get the glutes. The pullover gets the lats. Holding your torso stable while doing the bridge and then the pullover is what's going to hit your core in between. All right, so grab your weight. You need something moderate. I'd suggest starting off with something moderate right now to start. All right, so on the floor here, bringing our heels toward our glutes. You're going to extend the weight over your head. Keep it over your head. You're going to bridge up, come down into the pullover, up, down, and repeat. Bridge up, over the head, pull up, and down. Now you can spread that out and do all the bridges first, or all the pullovers first, and then whatever move you do first, just do the second move after that. Or you can combine it like I just did. All right? So we have 6.5 minutes on the clock. Let's get ready to work. Setting our timer here. All right. So counting down from 5. There we go. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we want however many reps you can handle until you get tired. Once you feel yourself getting tired, perform 2 more reps, a couple more reps, take a break, and repeat as many times as you can throughout this interval. So you really don't have to count numbers here. You can just keep going or listening to the body as opposed to looking for a number. I'm looking for effort. Your arms will fatigue before your legs do, just because we have the weight in our arms, not our legs. Plus, our legs are stronger than our arms anyway. don't be surprised there. But yes, we're looking for effort, not reps. Effort. That certain goal here, we usually go at about 10 times, 10 reps before we stop. But that's not what we're going to be doing moving forward. We're just going until we feel fatigued and then stopping and restarting. So make sure your hips are locked out at the top. You squeeze the glutes. You should not be able to raise your hips any higher. Then go into the pullover. You should feel some tension in your core, squeezing the glutes. Should help tense up the abs. And then getting the arms overhead should intensify the stretch in the abs even more. All right. 4.5 minutes to go. So feel free to go up in weight if you want. I'm going to get ready to go up in weight. But nonetheless, keep going until you can kind of feel yourself begin to fatigue. Once you feel yourself beginning to fatigue, you can go a few reps past that, take a break, and then go right back into it whenever you're ready. All right? And if you're doing one move at a time, you should be able to go through the entire 6 minutes without stopping. All right? So no matter what you do, we're not necessarily counting. We're just going by effort. That's how you standardize a workout, no matter how you're feeling at the moment. You can ensure that it's going to be effective regardless, because you're given the effort that contributes to your fatigue. All right, so let's get back to it. Take your time, go slow. We're trying to make sure the integrity of the form is consistent throughout the rep. So when you pull that weight back over, you should feel your core contracting. When your weight is overhead, the instability is greater, but when the weight is over your face, it's greater. I'm sorry, the stability is greater. So the instability is greater with the limbs away from the center of the body, and then greater, the stability is greater when it's over your face. So we're always weaker when our arms are straight versus when they're bent. And this is a straight arm exercise, so don't be alarmed because, you know, maybe the move isn't as hard when you're going, or is too easy when you're going over your head. And I had that backwards. Don't be surprised if it's harder than what you think, because we're keeping our arms pretty straight in that pullover. We lose leverage. Once you add a bend to that lever, you're going to be able to increase your strength. So we have just over 1.5 minutes remaining. Again, your arms are going to be your limiting factor here. We're just getting the legs into it. And if you want to do this with a single leg, you can. So I'm going to try that out here. Closing down, almost finished. This helps to increase the instability. Again, take your time. Try to keep those arms straight as you can. Keep those hips elevated. Keep going until you get tired. You'll hear 3 beeps to let you know there's 3 seconds left. Then we'll start our break. Okay, that's our interval. Woo. So you will need to grab your light weight right here. All right, so grab a swig of water. I'll explain what we got next. Okay, so move number 2, we have a side plank with a press or a pull. So timer's getting ready to start. We'll do the move together. All you're doing is holding a side plank up and pushing your hand to the ceiling. All right, so you can do a low side plank with the forearm, or you can straighten the arm out. Straightening the arm out, getting your body higher off the floor is a little bit more challenging. So once you've chosen your side plank, you're gonna stagger your feet. Top leg is in front, bottom leg is behind you. You're gonna grab your weight and push up, bring it to the floor. Push up. All right, so here you can choose a number to go, a predetermined number to go to, or you can do the same thing as before. You can wait until you get tired and then switch. All right. So your limiting factor with this move is going to be your core strength. So again, once you switch sides, stagger your stance, pick your plank, forearm or completely elevated, stagger your stance, top leg is in front, and we're going to repeat. You can get the weight to the floor, bring it right back up. So we're working on shoulders here. Then we get a lot of extra core work in here as well. So take your time. There's a little bit of rotation. Your shoulders will turn toward the floor here a little bit. That's okay. Listen to your core. When you get that weight up, try to keep it as balanced as you can. Whew. So if your wrists begin to hurt a little bit, kind of like mine are getting a little bit uncomfortable. I've been doing a lot of things on my hands this week. I'm gonna go for the forearm plank and then conduct my exercise from there. So the big thing we're looking for here again is effort level, not necessarily reps. Feel free to take a few sets to count if you want, just to compare sides. We want to, at the very least, get both sides to the same level of effort. All right, one may be easier than the other, but you'll probably be able to get to the same number of reps if you're counting your reps. So we have 3 minutes and 45 seconds remaining. Try to keep your eyes on your weight as you lift and drop. It might help you with your balance. If that's a little bit too hard, just keep your eyes straight in front of you, looking at the wall. But we're looking up just because we want to make sure the weight comes straight over. See, I feel this in my obliques the most, more than I feel it in my shoulders, more than I feel it in my legs. I feel this mostly in my obliques. So we got the 6-pack muscles, or the rectus abdominis. Those are the muscles you see in people who have a 6-pack. Even if you can't see yours, you still have a 6-pack. The adipose tissue sits on top of your six-pack muscles. That's why you probably cannot see them if you can't see them, but you still have them, all right? So nonetheless, that's what the first move hit with the pullover and the bridges, the rectus abdominis, the six-pack muscles. Here, we're getting the obliques more so than we are the six-pack muscles. Again, we're also getting a free shoulder, hitting the shoulders here. Make sure you freeze that weight at the top, hold it up before you drop it back down. Whew. Do your best to keep your hips elevated. All right, that's how you know the obliques are really working. Your hips are dropping and dropping and dropping to the floor. It's not bad that they're dropping, but we are reducing how much work the obliques are doing once the hips begin to drop. So do your best to keep the hips elevated before you stop the exercise and switch sides. We've got just over a minute remaining. Keep going. Gonna come back to the high plank. Remember, keep the hips high. Freeze the weight up at the top. Make sure you're stable, then come back down. We got less than 60 seconds. Oh, 40 seconds remaining. Keep it up. Go ahead and switch sides. Let's finish strong. Woo. Keep the hips up. Press up. Hope you keeping the weight light. Again, we want to keep the weight light here to help push the weight up overhead. We got less than 10 seconds. Whew. All right. So we're done with the weights for today's workout. So you can put those up, put those away. We're done with them. We don't need them anymore. Well, actually, it's optional for the last two moves. So grab a swig of water if you need it. The last two moves are what we've had the last two classes. We're going to have bent leg calf raises. We traditionally have had calf raises the last two classes, but this one, we're just doing it with bent knees. And then we're still going to have that anterior tibialis raise. So 10 seconds. Start off with body weight and have a wall that you can lean on just in case. Here we go. Simply put, bend your knees. Try to get your knees over your toes or past your toes. And from here, elevate the heels. Your entire body should rise up when you do this, not just your legs. It should be your entire body coming up into this move. We are going for a preset number here. We're going for 20. Leave that with 7, 8, 9. Make sure you hold yourself in that bent position. 11, 12, 13, 14. Let your heels down extra soft. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right. So for the tibialis raise, you're going to find a wall. You're going to put your butt on the wall. You're going to lean your torso forward. Lock your legs out. All right. Walk your feet away from the wall a little bit. The further your feet are away from the wall, the harder it will be. The closer your feet are to the wall, the easier it'll be. So butts on the wall, Squeeze your thighs to lock your knees out, to lock your legs out. And from here, all you're gonna do is lift your toes off the floor and softly set them back down. There's one, we're going for 20. 2, nice and easy, just like the calf raises. 4, 5, keep those legs squeezed. 6, keep the quads squeezed. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You might feel this in your lower back as well, just from holding your torso out. If so, just lean back a little bit into the wall. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right. And all we're gonna do is go back and forth, back and forth. All right. So if you want to use weight here, you can. You don't have to, but you can. You can easily just do one leg at a time for the calf raises. You can do one leg at a time for the tibialis raises, and that way you can add additional weight without adding external weight. All right. So we're right back to the bent leg calf raises. So I'm gonna come to the bent leg calf raise on one leg. 20 reps. 1. Let the heel down nice and soft. 3, 4. Keep that knee bent. 5. Knee is over the toe. That's how much you want to bend that knee. 7, 8, and 10. I'm only going to 15 since I'm doing one leg. 14, 15. Switch it up if you're doing one leg. Switch up if you're doing both. Keep going to 20, or just go ahead to tibialis raises. Single leg, here we go. Make sure you're bending that knee over the toe or past. Whole body lifts up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Ooh. All right, so we have just under 2 minutes and a half, 2.5 minutes to go. Going right back to the tibialis raise. You can do this 1 foot at a time. I don't really do it too often. I haven't done it recently, but you can if you want to. Not really necessary though. You can easily just bring your feet further away from the wall. That'll take the intensity up a notch. All right, so here we go. 20 reps. Butt on the wall, lean forward. Squeeze the quads, lift the toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Keep those legs squeezed. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 20, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. We got 60 seconds remaining. Let's try to get through one more of both. I'm going to do 15 reps of both. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Just a little bit faster. 5, 6, 7. Ooh. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Less than 30. 14 and 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, feet. Make sure the heel is coming up. You're on the forefoot. Oh, didn't have enough time. Oh well. All right. But nonetheless, that's our workout, y'all. We're gonna take a second. I'm gonna grab a scoop of water. We'll stretch out here in a minute. All right, so that last set was definitely meant to be nice and easy. Help get your heart rate back down, but also work some of those smaller muscles that we tend to neglect for the bigger muscles. All right, so I just recently picked up skating, so that's why we're doing a lot of calf raises, a lot of toe raises, a lot of heel and toe raises. It definitely helps with the strength of my ankle, but also with just coordination and getting used to the shifting of my weight from left to right. The more strength I have, the more feedback I'm going to have, the more proprioception I'll have. So that's why we're doing that. But nonetheless, definitely made me think about how I can train to help complement the skating. So hopefully your muscles below your knee and your shin and your ankle have been awakened with these last few classes. All right, so let's go ahead and stretch. We're going to go right for the lower shin to stretch out first. So you're going to come down in the child's pose. And bring your heels to your butt. All right, now if you need to, you're going to use your arms for support. So you're going to sit on your heels, slowly work your way so that your shoulders are right over your hips. You can still support your weight, offset your body weight into your hands and arms. If this is too extreme, can't get here at all, just sitting on your butt with your legs straight out in front of you and have someone else halfway sit on your feet. So your toes are pointing down, they're sitting on your toes. That'll help stretch out your anterior tibialis, or the front part of your shin. That's what we're stretching here. All right, let's go ahead and slowly come up out of that stretch. We're gonna go right into a calf stretch. So bring the right leg up. From here, all you're gonna do, left hand's on the floor, push the knee forward. You can use your elbow to push on top of your knee to help get a little bit more stretch out of there. Alternatively, you can always go into down dog and do a march. Push your heels to the floor and alternate from left to right. Once you get to the top of the down dog, you just march the heels to the floor, left to right, and you can get the calves that way. So relax. We're going to switch sides. Same thing. Right hand is planted. Use that left arm to kind of push on top of the knee to get the knee going forward. That'll help stretch out the calf. All right, and relax. Come up out of that stretch. Gonna come down to your back. We're gonna stretch out the obliques and the chest. So bring the knees over to the right. Gonna open up to the left. Try to get if you have space, try to get your left hand flat to the floor, the back of your palm. See if you can get it on the floor. See if you can get your left shoulder to get close to the floor. And you're gonna come up and switch. Same thing, now you're gonna come to the left, open up to the right. Try to get the right shoulder on the floor. Try to get the left or the right palm on the floor. the back of your palm anyway. And relax. Okay. So that is our class. All right. So we primarily got the core with both of those moves in the lower leg. Please do continue to stretch if you feel like you need to. All right, so thank y'all for joining me today. Again, my name is Alex. This has been Push, Pull, and Legs. I hope to see y'all on the next one and enjoy the rest of your day. Holla.